There was a whole bunch of good news yesterday, and I know it's a little hard to find the good news. You gotta wade through stuff and you gotta kind of really look for it sometimes, but there really was some great news yesterday. The Supreme Court blocked the Biden administration's OSHA vaccine mandate. We've got some info on that from the Daily Wire. On Thursday, the Supreme Court blocked a Biden administration mandate that would have forced private businesses with at least 100 employees to require workers to be vaccinated against COVID-19 or submit to regular testing. Okay, so this has been one of the big ones that everybody's been fighting about. As you know, the Daily Wire themselves, led by Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro and the other guys, they were one of the companies fighting this. Harmeet Dillon, my friend who's been on the show, she was one of the leading lawyers on the case. And this is great news. It got all the way up to the Supreme Court, and in my humble estimation, the Supreme Court did make the right decision. Now, I can't tell you that it was all perfect yesterday, because the other decision that the Supreme Court made was that the mandate on healthcare workers would stand. And believe it or not, Brett Kavanaugh was the deciding vote on that. He voted saying that it would stand for healthcare workers. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I am a constitutional scholar. I have some pretty good knowledge of some of this stuff. It seems a little bit weird. I'm going to try to read it later when I'm in the car. I'll read his commentary on it. It seems a little odd to me if you say, oh, it is unconstitutional for private companies to force people to be vaccinated, but it is constitutional for healthcare companies to do it. It's like, I don't know how that fits into the Constitution, that depending on the type of work that you do. Now, there may be some minutia and details in there that we can go through, so we'll see a little bit more about that. But in essence, this idea that these companies with at least 100 employees are not going to be forced to do anything they don't want to do, which, by the way, kicks the choice back to the individual, right? It makes you make a choice for yourself. I would like to be vaccinated. I will go to work, or perhaps I can talk to my boss about working from home if other people aren't vaccinated and I'm worried about that. That's the messiness of freedom. It's the beauty of freedom. Rather than top-down government, you must do this to work here. I don't have 100 employees, but I know in my bones I have no right, whether I have 10 employees or 100 employees, to say to people who work for me, who are not my slaves, they work for me in an open and honest free exchange. I have no right to say to them, you must get injected with this thing to work for me. So this was good. This was really, really good. And it's just another marker. And I know it's hard to see, guys. As I said before, you got to kind of look through the brush. But it's just another marker that things are turning a little bit. The Biden approval rating that we talked about yesterday at 33%. The Glenn Youngkin win in Virginia, which is a big hit on critical race theory. The fact that people are showing up to stores and seeing the supply chain stuff and going, oh, maybe that does have something to do with the policies of this government. Or when we see 9.7% inflation and you go, oh, again, maybe this has something to do with the policies. Like, people are waking up. When you see people going over the last couple of weeks, hey, I didn't get vaccinated, I got COVID, that guy did get vaccinated, he got COVID, it all kind of shook out the same. Maybe I'm allowed to ask some questions. Yeah, you know what? It's still America, and you're still allowed to ask some questions.